On this episode of Test Chamber, we're taking a look at Alien Isolation. We've had a good 2 weeks of licensed games coming out. We had Mordor earlier, and then Alien this week. I'm Andrew Reiner, everyone. Jeff Cork is here.
Hello.
You've played some of this game.
I did.
Tell me about this gaseous planet.
You basically said everything that needs to be said about it. It's pretty, which you can see, and it's gassy.
And then we have our reviewer who is still sick, but he's going to do his best to pull through here. We have Jeff Marchiafava.
Yep. Hopefully no aliens will be popping on me during this. But
I think I just saw one. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
And then we have one of our interns, one of our 3 interns right now, Matt Stolpe. He's going to be playing the game for us.
Yep, that would be me.
All right, let's kick it off here.
Okay.
He's about an hour into the game.
I'd say about an hour and a half.
Okay.
You can play even just the slow crawl to the, I guess the first appearance of the alien very slowly if you want to.
And a slow crawl to hitting the load current save.
Well, here we go.
All right, let's do it.
No
All right,
pressure.
conserve ammo, so don't shoot the alien.
Apparently it doesn't do anything.
No, it doesn't.
Did you kill the
It makes
alien,
it
Jeff? Is that a spoiler?
That would be a spoiler.
Okay.
I mean, if you've seen these movies, they never really die anyway.
Yeah.
Are you the alien the whole time?
Yep.
Oh, it's like Fight Club?
You stand in front of a mirror and you pull off a mask. And
I should have known.
They show the alien, like they do the big reveal of him like hiding under desks and beds. This is created by Creative Assembly.
It's true.
And, a lot of people didn't like the Gearbox one. This one is getting mixed reviews. I would say more on the favorable side of it being okay or good, right?
yeah,
And what did you end up giving it, Fava?
I gave it a 7.75. So pretty good.
Worth playing, would you say?
If you're a big Aliens fan, I would definitely say so. And if you like survival horror, then it also might be up your alley for sure.
And what kind of survival horror are we dealing with here? Obviously, it's an FPS, but
Yeah, but
more about
you
finding
never-
cover and finding your moments to strike or to move through the ship.
more about finding cover and then finding times to run past your enemies without shooting them, because weapons are just a bad idea.
So the S is really underplayed,
Yeah,
but a lot of FP.
FPR.
Well, it could be a first-person survival.
There you go.
Hacking mini games.
Yeah.
You can't.
I had a football game on one of those as a kid.
Yes. This one's not quite as fun. Okay, you're doing good. There you go.
Yeah,
Well played, Matt.
just like it is in real life. Okay.
All right.
So,
This is the science lab.
yes, I'm about to turn off security system so I can exit this area.
So this seems like a great idea.
Oh, yeah.
that easy, just hit
Nothing
return.
bad could happen.
Hit it again.
What kind of crazy keyboard is that?
Oh boy.
What have you done?
Is this the first reveal with him or her?
There's a cutscene where he kills a friend of yours, but this is the first, I guess, in-engine appearance.
So you push the button to release him.
Yes.
In retrospect, not the greatest idea.
Ever wonder what that feels like? Like the skin?
What the
Imagine
alien
very
skin feels like?
slimy and bumpy, kind of like a snake.
I want to say it's kind of dry and coarse,
Okay.
I want to say
kind of like
furry.
a rattlesnake.
Baba, you're the only one who hasn't.
I would think
weighed
it'd be pretty hard
in. There you go.
and slimy.
So what did the judges say?
And Fava, who are we playing as here?
Amanda Ripley, who is Ellen Ripley's daughter, which I thought was totally BS at the beginning, but apparently she actually existed in the lore. There was a scene that was cut out of Aliens where it mentions that she actually had a daughter.
I remember she had another daughter in Alien 3.
Oh, that old thing?
That thing, yeah.
We don't talk about that one.
I liked Alien 3. The
I didn't
capture
think it was
scene
too
is
bad,
brilliant.
That's some really cool moments.
Yeah.
In Alien 3.
I mean, it was certainly ambitious. I just don't think that Fox let Fincher make the movie he wanted to make. If you know anything about the struggle with Alien 3's production.
I haven't read up on the forums on that yet. And Fava, is this kind of a good example of the pacing in the game and
Yeah.
your general
pretty much.
movement through this ship?
A lot of peeking.
You do a lot of peeking, you do a lot of hiding under desks and tables and stuff, and getting scared at random noises of the alien who's out there somewhere. You have a motion scanner, I think.
Not at the moment.
Oh, you still haven't picked it up. All right. Well, that's going to be your best friend when you finally get it, because that will tell you the location of things that are moving around. If you've seen any of the movies, you know exactly what it looks like. And that definitely helps you evade enemies along the way.
So you don't have to duck walk all the way through it?
You'll still probably be duck walking quite a bit because you make less noise when you do that.
Now, I ran into it like when I was playing it for the big preview I did, that I crouched so much that the few times that I would stand up straight, I felt like I was just towering giant.
Yeah, definitely. And it does seem like, I think that's one of those things that people don't really talk about, where like the height in first-person games is usually, it's off. And I think this is probably more realistic to how tall you would actually be in a normal game, but we're all so used to like running around as stunted little people in first-person shooters that it seems weird, but you are crouching most of the time anyway, so.
Oh, that's not good. Sounds like a party's going on. Oh, yep.
There he is.
Not my idea of fun.
And there's only one alien on this ship, correct?
Yep. And so those kind of fights usually play out completely dynamically, where the AI will be controlling the humans and also the alien, and they'll be, running around based on their own AI, and so you can you'll have like noisemakers and stuff that you can kind of lure the two groups together and stuff.
What is this ship? I just saw vending machines that look like they take money.
It's a station.
Yeah,
it is. Okay, so it is a wayport
station.
kind of place?
Yeah.
Well, that's not good.
And later today, we're going to be showing off the, pre-order DLC that has, you play as Ripley in that one, right?
Yeah, you can play as Ripley and two other characters, I think, from the original one.
I believe Parker and I think maybe Dallas as well. It takes place right after Harry Dean Stanton's character dies.
So there's like a dedicated smoke button, probably. Sit there and
yeah, they call that air purification, but I definitely would not want to breathe that.
Matt, you seem like a really big Alien fan.
I have vivid memories of going to my parents' bedroom one night when I was having nightmares and walking in on the chestburster scene on their TV.
So you were already having
on
nightmares.
TV,
I was already having nightmares. Oh, it wasn't TV, it was HBO.
Okay.
And then you saw that, and they're like, "Go back to bed."
Yeah. At that point, the
Sleep
damage
tight.
had been done.
I wish I'd walked in on you guys in the nude. I probably would have done less damage to your psyche.
Okay. We are safe, I think.
There you go.
Look at that.
Found the elevator.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
It was a very low-key encounter, but I don't think that's how they normally play out.
Yeah, usually you get killed a lot more,
Yeah.
in my experience.
So I've played about 20 minutes of the game. It was kind of mid-game, a demo early in the year, and I thought it was really intense. I didn't know if it was necessarily fun, just how kind of chaotic it was, and just I didn't want to move. And if you did, and the alien spotted you, it was like instant death. How does that kind of play out in the final game, Fava?
That stays true for quite a bit. You'll eventually get a flamethrower, which kind of gives you an option. You're still not going to kill the alien, but it gives you an option where if the aliens, you see the alien, it sees you, and if it starts charging at you, you can kind of shoot some fire at it, and it will run away for maybe a couple seconds. So it kind of stops those complete one-hit kills all the time.
So most of the game is one-hit kills, like hardcore stealth.
Pretty much, yep.
What does this do for you?
Well, there are humans and there are androids as well that you'll be fighting against.
Like those guys.
Hello?
Yeah,
My
that one's
name's
actually
Ripley.
not.
Amanda
He's a cool dude.
Ripley.
Yeah,
I need your help.
he's okay.
Please take a seat. Someone will be with you shortly.
No wonder Seeks and his losing.
If you make that android, give it a voice that doesn't make it sound menacing.
Well, I think
Like
this
Mickey's
is
voice or something.
I think this is supposed to be the one they made on the cheap.
Yep.
It's not a Bishop or an Ash, unfortunately. Well, I have no idea what these are going to do for me right now.
One's going to make it cooler, and another will let you look around.
Okay, so I have to reroute all of the power.
I love all the
the
old
door.
tech. That's kind of true to the original film. It's beautiful, too, the atmospherics. And the whole game takes place on this one ship. Or this way station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just work for you, so you can get on with your life in perfect peace of mind. Working Joes.
And this is a long game, right, Fava? I saw it has like 18 chapters.
Yeah, and it depends on how fast you play for how quickly you'll get through it, obviously. But it took me around 25 hours. I saw some people were saying it took them,
I need to get
like 10 or 15 hours. So it really depends on how fast
It's
you
an
play.
emergency.
Because they
Don't
encourage you to
realize
be
what's going
methodical,
on?
and there's a lot of like environmental stuff to kind of absorb, a lot of stuff to read in computers.
Forget
and
it. I'll find my own way in.
See, he's trying to be helpful.
Is
Like,
most of
you're
the
just
story
rude.
told in moments like this, kind of Bioshock-esque, just on the fly?
Yeah, you'll pick up audio tapes too and stuff. The story doesn't really go anywhere, which was one of my big complaints about it. I mean, when you're dealing with the Alien IP, we've obviously seen some Alien games that have done much worse,
kind of
but this
tracker.
one kind of it takes
It's been
what could be a
modified.
very interesting character and doesn't really develop her in any interesting.
Yeah, because what I
ways.
played, the setup was really cool.
For
It seemed
sure.
like it was going to go some interesting places, and apparently it doesn't.
No, and she doesn't show much of a
Lost.
personality.
No, no problem.
Okay, that was.
All right. Looting, what does that do for you?
So you pick up those things, and you'll be able to craft different items out of them. I think if you hold in one of the shoulder buttons, you can start crafting.
Hold on, we found the Commodore.
Yep. So I think maybe if you go down to utility, that will
Perfect.
open that door.
So, Fava, do you think this is just going to be kind of a one-and-done thing, or is it a foundation for them to make another one?
I guess that'll depend on how successful it is, probably.
But could you see him doing more of this, or is it just too much going against one alien for 20 hours or
Yeah,
whatever?
I think they would have to come up with some more clever ideas to go along with it. It does feel like it drags on. They do a good job of introducing new items and weapons and stuff as you play along, but it did get somewhat old as I kept on playing. I would have liked some more surprises. So if they were going to do a sequel, I think you would really have to come up with an interesting story or some kind of new mechanics with the alien or something like that.
And it's tricky, too, because their position between Alien and Aliens, there's not a whole lot of room
Yeah,
between those films.
you can't do anything substantial. You're not going to completely destroy the xenomorph threat, which
Right.
I don't think is a spoiler at this point because we've all seen Aliens.
I want someone to go to their homeworld.
It's probably super gross.
I bet. But, they came from somewhere. Why don't they explore that stuff? Or do they just want to kind of keep it ambiguous and
Yeah, it's
there's
probably
just this threat?
Yeah, if you figure out what it is entirely, it's probably not as exciting.
And I know Prometheus kind of touched on some origin stuff to a
Yeah.
degree, but, I mean, even that was confusing.
Yeah, I think the explanation in Prometheus is that they were being harvested as weapons.
Yeah, yeah.
Black goo. It took a lot of the interesting, I guess, mystery out of it.
Yeah, I think that's the problem that, the creators at this point, they don't want to mess with it too much because I don't think that they're going to be able to satisfy everyone. And I definitely don't think we'll see some huge lore revelations coming from a video game. They would probably save that for movies.
But as you're saying, if you're a big Alien fan, if you're a big fan of the IP,
Yeah, I mean, this is the closest that we've
delivers-
gotten to, that kind of the classic Alien vibe and the survival aspects of the original film. I think they do a good job with, so despite some other flaws.
and it's such a limited IP as is when you really think about what enemies are there for video games. It's like,
Yeah.
what do you have? The eggs, the face huggers, the little chest
Let me in.
bursters,
I need
the
to
soldiers,
contact
and then
my
the queen,
ship.
right?
Yep.
The dog ones from Alien 3. All that weird crap from Alien
Yeah,
Resurrection.
the hybrid.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about the hybrid.
Let's not talk about that.
There's gotta be another way
Just
inside.
pretend that didn't happen.
I guess the movies went completely off the rails, so I don't know why games can't just move
Yeah,
beyond
why
the
not?
fiction of the movies and ruin it in different ways.
Yeah, at this point, a lot of damage has been done to the franchise. I think this stepping back and just going with a very minimalist approach to it is probably
doing something more classic.
yeah.
Well, I'm definitely a fan of the first one. I like what I'm seeing in
Oh,
terms
what
of
is this?
atmosphere. It looks a little slow,
Yeah.
a little uneventful.
I just want to yell boo.
And this is definitely still very early in the game. Once you have a couple more encounters with the alien, it's pretty much stalking you all the time.
But
and
let's
they're-
put that into context. This is early, but as Matt said, this is close to 2 hours into it.
Yeah, it's definitely a slow start. And it can be, again, depending on how quickly you go through these early areas, it can be a lot longer than 2 hours as well. But
Yeah, there's so many little details in here that I really appreciated. Like when you're in the service tunnels, you notice like the reception of the motion tracker. It's all hazy, like it's just not getting a decent
Not to
signal.
reestablish long-range communications.
You're becoming hysterical.
And they do that blurred perspective, too. If you're focusing on it, you can't see what's in the distance.
Right.
uh-oh. You don't want to shoot an android.
Hey. So what's going on at this point? Like, someone shoots something, you think there would be alerts. Is the complex already kind of shut down?
Yeah, it's pretty much abandoned at this point, and the alien has been running amok already. So most of the humans that you find are the leftover survivors, and most of them are pretty aggressive. So
And
you
then-
want to steer clear of them.
The android workers are still kind of going about their business then.
Yeah, and some of them are kind of freaking out, as you can see,
They're
by
like
that guy bashing his head in.
so far the androids are kind of reminding me of the keepers from Mass
Oh,
Effect.
you don't want to go in that light.
No.
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 Boy.
That's a good sign.
That's not
You're
good.
fine.
Go get the gun.
On the floor.
I think you do have to hack that door over there, but you don't want to be... Yeah, maybe you can turn off.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
That's you're probably getting choked right now.
I'm trying to get out. It's not.
Oh, man.
That's...
Yeah, I think
You're-
this is my undoing.
Let me help you, he says.
Nice.
Yeah, those don't stop androids.
Where do you got to shoot him?
You gotta run away.
Oh.
Can you kill them, though?
Yeah.
It just takes a
you
lot
can
of
eventually.
hits.
If you can find a vent, they won't follow you into a vent.
Well,
You can run past them.
Oh, man.
That's... How fast can you press that button?
oh.
That's cool. I like a little spray.
This is it.
That's-
Oh.
Yeah. So that's going to happen a lot too.
Yeah.
During this game,
Well,
there
that-
is some trial and error.
And one of the big complaints in your review is about the checkpoints, right?
Yeah, I think we're pretty
Yeah.
far back.
You have not saved for a long time, and you do have to manually save every time at those save stations. So there is a lot of backtracking in the game to begin with, but you're going to want to backtrack even more back to save stations so that you don't end up doing this where you have to replay a bunch.
It definitely adds like an additional layer of tension because you know you've got something at stake in that you're going to lose a lot of your progress
Yeah.
if you aren't being methodical about saving.
And I don't know that that necessarily makes it scarier as it does more frustrating for me, but I also ended up getting used to the save system once you kind of accept that you're going to have to backtrack for it. It is rewarding, or it just makes you feel good every time you get back to a save station. You can save it, you feel like you've accomplished something, you know that you're never going to have to do that part again. So it's
I don't know if
not
that's a good thing, knowing that
Yeah.
your relief at never having to do something again. That may not be what they were going for.
Not a selling
Let me
point.
in. I need
Yeah.
to
Back of the
contact
box
my
quote.
ship.
Yep.
Fava, what are your final thoughts on this here?
I think it's a solid game. I think I am a huge Alien fan, and so I appreciated all the little touches in it. I wish they had done more with the story,
There's gotta
but
be another way inside.
I was engaged the entire way through. I'd say it's not a super scary game, but it is tense throughout the entire game.
And how long did you play it? How long was your playthrough?
It took me about 25 hours.
Wow.
I
Okay.
was on the slower side of things, but that's usually how I play creepy games like this. So.
And this is Alien Isolation, from Creative Assembly. It's out on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Correct? Are there
There are
last-gen versions?
Last-gen versions. We still haven't been able to check them out yet. They will probably not be this pretty.
Alrighty, everyone. Well, thanks for watching another episode of Test Chamber. We'll be back with another episode soon. See you then.